Studying the Joros' behavior will give us the clues to how they might react to different environments. As of now, we can only guess where the Joros might explore in the future. We'll need all the knowledge we can get before it's too late.
The migration web. The analysis of the invasive species and looking at the human connection to this, how we have spread and migrated as an invasive species, and how the fact that we are entwined with nature as much as humans have tried to extricate themselves from that order and put them above in the hierarchy, we are still a part of it. So our actions have ultimately a big impact. And then how we treat what we label as other invasive species, animals and critters and creatures that threaten the environment. What's our impact when we interfere with those? I think the study of the spider was specifically really interesting to have that case study to analyze and highlight the nuances of our intervention and the pros and the cons and how we can move forward in this. And we have to be very deliberate and clear and not just try to eradicate whatever we deem as a threat. So I thought this was really well done and a great variety of voices and experts on the topic. And I thought it was visually very stimulating as well and great pacing throughout.
Migration web. In this doc, we detail the migration path of the species of the Jaro spider. Now they're starting to inhabit the East Coast and continue, in some people's eyes, to call negative, harmful negatives to the environment. I mean, what's interesting about this doc is it does relate this migration to immigration and how non-indigenous species are often treated as invasive species. Some will argue in this doc about the spider cutting down on pollinating insect populations. There's a lot of stunning close-up nature footage of the spider. It is a very striking spider to look at. But you get various perspectives from this piece, right? So it's interesting to hear the scientific perspective from the scientists who also showcase the spider may not look as intimidating or as scary as it appears because there's this one of the most least aggressive spider species, the most shyest spider species. So it really gives you a full-rounded idea of what the migration of this particular spider causes and has caused, and how we are still continuing to learn how this will be an impact on our ecosystem. And depending on the perspective that you decide to look at it, it could be deemed as a positive or it can be deemed as a negative.
Well, I'm having nightmares tonight. I didn't expect a documentary about spiders. I know they're talking about the specific spider that helps with the ecosystem, and it's very educational. Terrifying, but very educational at the same time. I wish they would have just talked about the spider rather than showing it on and off. I know you're supposed to do that in documentaries, and it's actually really good storytelling so we can see what they're talking about. It's just feels like they're on me. It's something that is different. Definitely, it's going to definitely be something I remember because, like they said, they seem to have a problem with the idea of squish it, kill it, because they do really explain what the importance is to the ecosystem, specifically this type of spider. Doesn't make them any less creepy, but it's really educational, and it's something that classrooms of boys might really like because they seem to like the creepy crawly things. And I'm really glad that there are people who are realizing their importance to the ecosystem, like they said with agriculture and stuff. It's just, I could have left without all the close-ups of the spider and just had them talking about it the entire time.
The migration web. Oh, spiders. Yes, they freak me out, but I really liked that this was the theme here. And really great title. And that it's about like these Asian spiders and how immigration is a natural process in general, and how these are considered invasive species, but it was a positive take on it and a positive take on the process of this, immigration and integration. So I thought it was awesome footage of the spiders, because they are fascinating looking, even if I don't want to get too close in person. And I like how it said they're just trying to build a future for themselves, so we can all relate. Great job.
This review is for the migration web. This is about a spider, the Juros, and it's an invasive species that is on the east coast of USA, and it's negatively impacting the local populations according to some opinions, and then we have some contrasting opinions about how they can be good for some of the crops and the regeneration of the whole ecosystem. They give us great images and close-ups of the webs and their majestic creatures, their colors, and their prey. It's some of the research behind their behavior as well, and it's just very colorful and quite informative.